adios or hola, ¿qué pasó? Whatever you guys are saying. ¿Cómo estás? Okay. All right. Today's passage is we are just looking at chapter 3, verses 7 through 13. Our sixth church, that is Philadelphia. Okay, Philadelphia church, we're just going to cover up with that. In my house, as you guys will know that, I have 4 kids. Okay? While raising my kids, I always find out that these little ones are always thankful. Because honestly, they're not really that much helpful. Why? Because the little hands, not really resourceful either. No power, no strength, and they do not have ability to make the money. So always, I'm just feeling like, you don't have anything, like, you don't have something to help me out, like, they don't have any of the, sources to help me out the indirect way and then physical way on it. So when I just go to Costco, my sons always just told me like, Dad, I just want to help you. So one day I just brought them and then just look at the water bottle box over there. And then, can you carry that one? And then they just rushing in and then just try to carry on. But you know what's going to happen though? Then they're just going to say, I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, that's that. If you don't have that ability, then you don't even mention about. That's our like an honest feeling and an honest comment on it. But I just let them do that. Why? Because their hearts and their serving hands are so thankful. Did you know that raising the kids all the time, they're burdensome, and all the time that you think that kids can be, you're helpful and resourceful. Actually giving them, providing you, and really much, resourceful and help, we can't expect it from them. Even though they failed to help you out, but they didn't really give much help at this time, but the little try to do something and help you guys, that is such a, good motivation and encouragement for us. The trier even fails all the time. But that their helping mind and the serving hands, that means a lot of the things to us, and encouraging and then also motivating us, the adults, to work hard and then serve one another really hard. And then I just feeling like I have to provide and can care of my family members. So that's what you guys have when they're just trying to help you guys out and then also give you guys an encouragement like this way. Like this, a little hands that does not mean nothing. But if you could be, it's more than biggie, because it causes much more encouragement, much more motivation, and also little ones' heart, the little ones' hands moves the people's heart, and also makes a big movement. Eventually, it causes greatest work in the family that you guys experience all the time. Today we just got the today's passage, and also another church. The church name is Philadelphia. This is 6th church among the 7. And then we got the last one, Laodicea. But this is the Philadelphia church we're going to talk about it. Especially this church has a little strength. But God pleases so much. So God praised this church tremendously. As you guys will know that. So as a 7 churches sermon series, we are going to look at this church, Philadelphia. And then we are going to deal with how we're going to apply this message of the Jesus Christ to us in text message. Context of our church, to Cross Church. And then we are just looking at today's message of the Jesus Christ. We're going to apply this message to our church, the Cross Church, all the body, and then all together like this community people. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys a little bit about the church background here. Okay, Philadelphia. In the Philadelphia area, even though it is under the Roman Empire, colonial area, majority of people are Jewish people there. So Judaism was really strong, and the social population is composed of the most likely Jewish people then. That's good. If you have your neighbors, if you have the same ethnicity in the different country, that's a great comfort and consolation and peaceful. You know why? Because you have your people, next to you, that means you can help each other because they share the same value and the same culture and the same, thoughtful minds, and that's why you guys have some of the, comfortable mind on it. If there is something trouble, you guys don't hesitate to, you don't really hesitate to communicate with them and then ask them to help, right? That's why, no issue, no trouble to communicate, have a fellowship, and also share the community work together between the same ethnicity people. If you are, many of you guys, some of you guys may experience it before. What happened? There is, something that you got something in your life. There's something going on in it. As coming as an immigrant family, you guys are born in as a second generation, doesn't matter with that. But your neighbors is the same people and your people, then you're just feeling like, oh, I got something wrong, some room, then some people, then I asking without hesitation on it. So that's the situation that the Philadelphia church has it, because majority of people are the Jewish people composed of this church. And then that area, Philadelphia area, most likely Jewish people are packed up, and then majority of people are Jewish people at that time. Okay? However, this Philadelphia church has gone through the very difficult times and hardship, persecution. Why? As a Christian community, they were kicked out of Jewish community in this area. Because of their faith, the Jews never allowed them to have a job. And the Jews, they never sells anything to them. The Christians, even they don't really talk and communicate with this church people, anything with the church people at the Philadelphia. So all the doors are shut down to them. And all the doors are closed against them. That's why when Jesus introduced himself into the Philadelphia church, there was a door illustration, door imagination. He always talking about it. Okay, verses 7 and 8, he says, to the angel of the church in the Philadelphia write, these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of the David. What he opens, no one can shut. And then what he shuts, no one can open. I know your deeds. See, I have a place before you, an open door that no one can shut. So this environment in Philadelphia church has a really hard and a difficult persecution from their own ethnicity people, Jewish people. So that's why verse 9 it says, it explains the situation the church is facing right here. And in verse 9 it says, I will make those who are of the synagogue of the Satan, who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars. I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Out of circumstance, out of situations surrounding this church, the Jewish people's persecution are there. But I think that this church also getting through the shortage of their resources. If you just look at the verse 8 again. Once again, let us just look at what the Jesus Christ is saying about this church. Verse 8 says, I know your day to see. I have a place before you, an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have a little strength, yet you have kept my words and have not denied my name. I know you have a little strength. What does that mean by that? I don't know exactly what that is. What strength? But the church is definitely faced to the out of the resources, out of the strength, because they have just a little strength on it. Some people said it could be that is the number of the people. Because the Philadelphia church is small, so if you're really thinking about, the people are power, right? That's why if you have more people, and then means, you have more sources, human resources, every single time the company really trying to find out more people, hire more people. Why? Because that is a power, that is a resources. Another, fact is that because of the Jewish persecution, everything, economy, activity is shut. So they can get they cannot get any of the jobs because that Jewish guild and Jewish community shut them down and shut the door, and they're never going to sell anything on it. They don't have any resources. They don't have any of the opportunity to get a job. Economy-wise, that they cannot make any money on it. So that's why this church is really poor. That's what scholar says about it. All the jobs in the trading and the economy activities are restricted and limited to this church, Christian people. They are poor. That's why you have just a little strength. Lastly, some scholar says, maybe this church has a little spiritual gift among the people. Compared to the other 7 churches in the Minor Asia, maybe Philadelphia church has a really, really little spiritual gift. If you look at the book of the Corinthians, what happened? Paul says about, you guys have much of the spiritual gift. So that's why Corinthian churches practice of speaking a tongue and a prophecy, and also there is a miraculous spiritual gifts that happening. But the Philadelphia church, I don't think they have a lot of the spiritual gift that practice the inside of the church. And that's why the Jesus Christ mentioned you have just a little strength. That's why. That's a reality situation, and the Philadelphia church has little strength. However, even though Philadelphia church has a little strength, Jesus praises this church. You know what's interesting? Among the 7 churches, there is only 2 churches Jesus only prays without any warning message. One is Smyrna. The other one is this, Philadelphia. Only heard about Jesus' praises without warning message. Jesus encouraged this church like this way, even though they're facing the most difficult situation. Verse 10, he says, since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also give you from the hour of the trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. What they did. Even though they are small, they have a little, even though their resource is not that big, even though they received a little spiritual gift from the Lord, what they did is just to endure patiently.